the Green Bay Packers. They're plus 220 to win this division. I feel like there has been a sneaky amount of hype about the Green Bay Packers. I also feel like this is a very polarizing team when you look at what other media people are saying and their opinions on this team, because I feel like some people have them as a sneaky Super Bowl bet, or people are just completely out on them and they're done with the Jordan Love experience at this point. But they're plus 220 right now. Their win total, according to the sports books, is 9.5 right now. Connor, in or out on the Green Bay Packers?
Short answer, I'm going to cautiously, optimistically say I'm in on the Packers this year. And that's something I've been hesitant to do in the last couple of years of Jordan Love. But, you look at it and they draft Matthew Golden. It remains to be seen what kind of role he'll have in this offense. The one point I want to touch on that's hurt them in the last couple of years, especially in this Jordan Love era, is the lack of consistency at receiver. They have a lot of guys that are good. They have a lot of guys that are like, hey, I recognize that name. That guy's going to give me some production out there. But there's no true star receiver since Devontae Adams left the green and yellow jersey. Jaden Reed, sprained foot, dealing with, questionable for week 1. Excuse me, questionable for week 1. He had 3 games last year over 100 yards, 10 games under 55 yards. Talk about inconsistency. Christian Watson last year, he's out most of this year with a torn ACL. 5 games over 65 yards, 5 games with 0 yards. It's just the give and take, the back and forth of this receiver group. Where are you going to find consistency? That's the biggest downfall for this Packers offense. Jacobs was good last year. Tucker Kraft was great last year. Can you get a consistent number 1 receiver for Jordan Love? And I'm hoping Matthew Golden can be that. I think he's ready for a bigger role from day one. We'll see. That's where I want to start, because I don't think it comes down to Jordan Love as much. I think it's really on this receiver group.
1,000% agree.
I'm going to address your claim about Matthew Golden real quick, about not knowing what role he's going to take. They've already moved Bo Melton to the secondary, so they've already tried to make room for him. My fantasy football wide receiver take is that Matthew Golden will end up being wide receiver 1 for the Packers by the time the season's over.
Nobody else has taken the reins. I think that's perfectly fair.
I think the ceiling's already been established for these other wide receivers, and if you were to bet on one of these receivers to take a step forward, it'd have to be the one that they drafted that you haven't seen play in the NFL before. I do think he'll be wide receiver 1 by season's end. What's interesting to me... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I also don't think Jaden Reed's an X receiver.
I would agree with that. He's more of a gadget slot guy, middle of the field. I would agree.
Yeah. It's Golden's wide receiver core. It really feels like heading into the year. However, I'm not high on the Packers this year. You take a look at take a look at the offensive line. Jenkins, he is the best pass blocking center in the NFL. But outside of that, not a very good run blocker. Josh Jacobs had a pretty good year last year, but you're going to need Jenkins to step up and be able to make those blocks on the run side. Jordan Love had the 9th least time to throw last year. That has to change if this Packers team is going to make a jump, and I don't see it changing. So I'm out on the Packers. Spoiler alert, I'm finishing last in the division.
I've been finishing last.
I have the Packers finishing last in the division.
Unfortunately for you, I have them winning the division. Plus 220. Yeah.
What do you see? What do you
got them edging out
the defensive line? Yeah, Rashawn Gary's the best piece of that defensive line. Some decent pieces in the secondary. McKinney, Cooper. What are you seeing here that says they win the division?
Jeff Hafley. They had a pretty good defense last year under Jeff Hafley, and I do wonder what we're going to get from the secondary. No Jair Alexander this year. You've got Kayseon Nixon in at cornerback 1. You signed Nate Hobbs to a 4-year large contract. I wonder what we get from the secondary, but I'm going to trust the defense to at least be average, an upper echelon, top 13, 14 in the league. And then Jordan Love last year, I think it's just kind of a year from hell thing. Injury early in the year in Brazil. 800 less pass yards than the year before. 7 less touchdowns than the year before. Inconsistent, injured wide receiver play. I think this year... I think we see the same with Josh Jacobs. He was one of 6 running backs with 300 carries last year. He was 3rd in missed tackles, 4th in explosive runs. Tucker Kraft, I think, led the league in 8.8 yards after the catch per catch, highest by a tight end since 2018. Breaking tackles. I think this offense is going to take a step forward this year, and maybe Jordan Love gets back to that 2023 form where he had a lot of people excited.
So it's a bet on Jordan Love.
It is, and that scares me because the last couple of years I've been very hesitant to do that, but I do think with the Lions taking a mini step back this year, this is the year for the Packers to win this division.
Josh Jacobs is fascinating because when he signed with the Packers, I was like, really?
Man.
Yeah, it's just the most all right. He was fantastic for him last season. Also, to kind of add to Connor's point, I still think the Lions win this division, but I think Packers are making the playoffs. Still have them making the playoffs. Matt LaFleur, very good head coaching record. I mean, very good. And for as much crap as he got during the Aaron Rodgers stuff and everything, you go through it. 13-4 or 13-3, 13-3, 13-4, and then 8-9, 9-8, 11-6. That's Mike Tomlin type stuff right there.
There's been a lot of turnover with this Packers team too.
He won multiple games last year with Malik Willis. Let's not forget this.
Titans legend.
Titans, yeah. Malik Willis should not be playing snaps in the NFL.
I would agree. He should not.
Maybe tight end.
Maybe tight end.
Tight end, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be I think the Packers are going to win the division. I think it's more of a scenario where, hey, Detroit's 10-7, 11-6, and then maybe Green Bay's 11-6, 12-5. Like they win.
I know who Connor's out on in this division. That just told me everything I needed to know.
We'll see about that. See about that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm in on the Packers though. It's funny though. Dylan picking them last, and I'm picking them first. You still got the Lions though, Carter?
I still have the Lions, but the Packers do have. I don't want to read schedules the whole time because a lot of these divisions have the divisions have the same schedules basically. But I will say they do have an easier start to the year, so I think the hype train could get going early because it is pretty night and day compared to what the Lions have to start with. So even though they play each other week 1,
I thought weeks 2 through 4. I mean, the teams. Cleveland's not tough, but to go Thursday night football away. Sunday night football, I don't know. I wrote that down as a tough little stretch.
Cleveland, Dallas,
at Dallas, prime time. I thought so.
Mm.
But outside of that, I didn't know anything else in terms of tough stretches for Green Bay.
Yeah, no, it's a lot smoother than the Lions is.